Is she breaking down? Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the big chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill, it's even greater than when I sneak into some place. You killed Faraday? Why? Answer me, Callisto, you. Callisto, you, huh? That's not my real name. Because my real identity is, yes, the great thief Yadagarasu. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he had discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Macro an offer, an acquittal for a little favor in return. All he had to do was accuse Faraday of being the Yadagarasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rel caves to only two things, money and authority, just as all thugs do. With the help of Edgeworth. No! No! Plus, if you had let them continue on the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both. But didn't you say that you despise criminals? But do I really? Have you forgotten about the KG8 incident too? Maybe. What sort of woman would... So then, was your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent? Well, I had a good idea what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yadagarasu by using this Yadagarasu's key as evidence, and that he would bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think of something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to talk to Mr. Faraday. And in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yadagarasu's key. Just like that. He never noticed that I changed the key into a knife in that plastic bag. And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life. How could he kill him? I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death. But if you kill Mr. Faraday first, there was no need for you to kill Mr. Ray as well. I believe I mentioned why when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness, and how that led to the killer thinking about setting them up as though they killed each other. Then the trick with the surveillance tape. Yes, I hadn't actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of that surveillance tape. Which is why I had Rel help set up crime scene. And after all was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with a bullet. You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you? How could you betray a client? Client? If you want to talk about who was a client for who's first, it was me. I was the client in the murder of Cadopian embassy staff member Deed Man. If she had been an offense attorney, it would have been right. You ordered a hit job? You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad? I had Deed Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. See, it's her, not Edgeworth. Now, who exactly you think would benefit from such an assassination? It can't be. Manny Cadopian. You're... That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring. What? How could this... You don't mean you're working with Manny Cocken too, do you? Maybe, maybe not. Guess you'll never know. The Yagarasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded murderer. That's right, little girl. The Yatagarasu is just another killer. Be quiet, you. Yatagarasu! You can run from the law, but you'll never escape it. So just humbly accept the judgment of this court. But as a defense attorney, she should never fire a shot as an offensive act. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know? The Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is? No? Well, let me tell you. It means the Yatagarasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work. Holy moly! You're really too naive, Edgeworth. You even hid the Yatagarasu's key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it. You mean, the key real target? Even after I gave you such great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Or you may regret what comes of your negligence? You two, get down! My body, I can't move! Hey, mister, to your right! Are you alright, Francesca? I'm perfectly fine, Miles. Her voice is shaking, but looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? Good thing we had 0 guards. Well, there's Detective Bad. You know, he's part of the police force. The detective is bad at his job. Ugh. Sorry, but it looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay. Just got another hole in my jacket. You may say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken. But more importantly, boy, I mean, Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma, are you two hurt? I'm absolutely fine. I'm also alright, thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know. She just sort of disappeared. Huh. I'll go look for her. Oh, and, hey. Detective? Gumshoe? Sounds like he had a bad I'm sorry I doubted you. Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all. I heard about what happened from Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But, in this case, you were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective. Now, don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay? You got it, Pops! Pops? Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we? Way to single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere with one snarky comment. I should get back to the investigation. I swear I'll catch you if it's the last thing I'll do. Be careful, Detective Bad, and take care. Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday. Thanks so much, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything. Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison. I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe. Ah, it's no problem, pal. I lied to you too, so it didn't help anything. It's not really your fault, Your Honor. Well, even we didn't have his honest testimony. I think that the lawyer would have found another way to get you convinced on her behalf. Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective. The officer told me he has good news and bad news. Well, as long as you're not fired. You should work hard. Give all you have and perform your duties well. Oh, one more thing. Kay left a present with you with me. She did? Oh, what is it? What is it that Kay left for me? The proof of their friendship.
Take that!
It's a courthouse special Swiss roll. Can I really have it? Yes, it's a present meant for you after all. Thanks a bunch. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal. I'm gonna eat this right now. Sure, go ahead. The Swiss roll Detective Gumshoe and Kay brought together. While the 1K save never reached her father, it would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective. He's so happy. As though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own. Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him. Whoop! That's good, pal. I can't believe I got to eat 2 of those delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something. I gotta thank Kay myself. Hey wait, where is she? You only noticed just now? Was his mind not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left to go and search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join him. Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna go help him. Oh, but first, you know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edwards. Sir. I sense nothing but a most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement. We should go home 2 miles. We have to hurry and report what happened to Papa. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid I must be going now. Detective. Roger, sir. And don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we are on real well. I'll, be counting on you. The scent of trouble is definitely in the air. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I have tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now... So, do you remember now? Yes, I remember everything. Hey, it's been a while. Hey, you sure grew up a lot. Of course, but thank goodness. I thought you two had totally forgotten about me. You know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where have you been all this time? Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They live really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back all that much. Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're alright. So, does it make sense now? You betcha it does. Oh, and you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently, and... Actually, there's still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay. Huh? First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? The Yatagarasu was Callisto Yu, the woman who killed your father. No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu was my father. Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu? Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently, and I found a secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That was written in his diary. That's how I know for sure. But that's impossible. What's with that look? You don't believe me? It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now. Alright then. How do you explain this? It's a way of disarming any security system of the user's choosing? Yep. That's Little Thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest asset. And this little gizmo was used by my father. Wow, Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor. He was really a great thief, huh? Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth. But he was killed. And the Yatagarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently. Someone other than you. Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article. The Yatagarasu sent the embassy a calling card? Yeah, meaning this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto Yu lady is behind this. Because real Yatagarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out. But the Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves. Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up and I knew I just couldn't let it go. So I searched you out, so that I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone could help me out, I figured it was you, Mr. Edgeworth. So you're saying that I have your father's and misused identity backwards? Yes. The real Yatagarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real, noble Yatagarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace. Kay. Kay. You're so honorable. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal. Even if you're honorable, a thief is a thief. And if you're planning to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit. Mr. Edgeworth. You guys are not making it easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now? Mr. Edgeworth. What I want is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman. Evil woman? You mean Callisto Yu? I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me? Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you. Huh? Owe me for what? When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I'm not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid. And you mean... Yes. The case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you. Yay, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Isn't that great, Kay? It sure is gummy. Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now. What is with their chummy relationship? The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Burn Faraday, Callisto Yu, and K Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatagarasu. And the Yatagarasu's real goal. It would all come to light the day after I made that promise to Kay. This is the last chapter of this part of the collection. Let me switch to some pajamas because it's cold, and then we'll do a little bit of this. Just a little. Oh my god, I just got back! What the hell? Oh! Oh my god, Kurt. Ah, Jesus Christ. You redeemed it the second I got. Oh my god. Hi, Feather. At least I have it handy. I mean, yes, it keeps me warm, but it's also like, all right. The thing with this suit is that it's not like even though it's like one size fits all, it's still like a little short. So, like putting on this thing, it's just like I have to make sure I'm like it's like basically riding up, or else it's not gonna actually like fit, or like well, it's not gonna fit like properly. You know, it's annoying. Gah! Edward taking over for the. Where are the claws? The claws are right here on the hands. They're sewed into the wrist part of it, Feather. I mean, I can't. They just can't put the arms like there. How am I gonna play this game if I like if it's actually claws I gotta put on? This is the motive for Edward to kill Kurt. Oh, he's not a murderer. Voice commands? No. I've seen people do like voice commands for like Elden Ring and stuff like that, and I'm just like, this is not as interesting as you think it is. You tried voice commands for Elite Dangerous years ago? Like an actual decade now, probably. And one of the White Raven. A country torn in two. One to the west, and one to the east. When those which were split are made whole again. The truth will reveal itself. The Yarigarasu!